Syracuse, please make it loud for Josh Johnson!
I look back on the time that I was in Chicago, like out on my own for the first time, just like learning about myself, learning about life, and like, I am begging. I don't like to beg, but I am begging, like all of us, especially like young men. You a young man out on your own for the first time. There's some things I'm begging you. You got to. You have to invest in soaps. I know good men. These are good men. These are good people. These are good young men. They're not gonna cheat. They're not that type of person. But they have some misconceptions about life, like one soap can do it all. It can. I am begging you. It can. First of all, a bar can't do everything. I had a friend, we were all out on our own for the first time. We all, sharing our experiences, getting our own first apartments and stuff like that. And he had one bar of soap. One bar of soap to do everything. Yeah. There's little things like that. One bar of soap. He had one bar of Dial soap in his kitchen. Looks like everyone here was raised right. He had one bar of Dial soap in his kitchen. I saw the bar of Dial soap in the kitchen. I was like, interesting, okay. And later on, we were hanging out for a while. I was at his place for hours, and eventually I had to go to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom, and then I went to wash my hands. But there was nothing. There was nothing. There wasn't a bar in the bathroom, and I checked the shower. I was checking, I didn't even see body wash. There was nothing at all. I just had wet hands. I was just wet. Not clean, slippery. Because that's also a whole different conversation. Just because you have wet your hands does not mean you have clean hands. You cannot just wet your hands. This is how disease spreads. You cannot just be wet and nasty. You're still nasty. You're just nasty, but slipperier now. In fact, you have become a super spreader. You now easier to be nasty because you can flick the nasty. You say you wash your hands, you wet your hands. So then, I'm over here, okay, there's nothing in here. There's not a single thing, and he lives alone, there's not a single thing in here. So I was like, okay, look, maybe I caught him on a bad day. He need to go shopping, something like that. So then I did something I very rarely do, but I went ahead and under the sink, opened the cabinet to see if there was just a bar there. Nothing. He didn't even have cleaning products or medicine, or there was just pipe under there. Nothing. There was nothing. And so then finally I got ask him for some soap. So I get ready to leave the bathroom, but it's hard because it's a doorknob. My hands are very wet, and so it took a while. Took it embarrassing. I was over here like. I finally make it out of the bathroom. And I go up to him like, hey, there's no soap in your bathroom. And he's like, oh, my bad, soap's out here. And I said, what? he was like, yeah, the soap's out here. And he pointed to the soap that was on the kitchen sink, the dial soap that he apparently also uses on the plates. I don't know what's nastier now. Washing my hands with soap here, because this is the only bar soap I've ever seen that's got food on it. It's insane. Because look, I'm not knocking anybody. I know what it's like to be out on your own for the first time, and you, depending on where you grew up or how you were raised or what you had access to, is going to depend on how you see a good portion of how to move about the world. So I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying what things I think would be helpful. You know? I've been broke and on my own, but you still, you know the things that you're working towards. You know what's in front of you. I'm not saying it makes it easy or affordable. I'm just saying what's in front. Every man in here, every single man in here, I don't care your age, please, I am begging you to have at least in your domain. I don't care if you got roommates. I don't care if you share a couch. In your domain, please have at least one full body mirror. We are leaving the house looking crazy, and we have no idea. We have no idea. And nobody's gonna tell you. I've left the house looking insane because I didn't have a full body mirror. I was over here. I was over here. Fully missing a pocket. Missing one of my back pockets. And not missing as in it was like completely gone. I say missing because it had ripped. And it was hanging behind me like a jean tail. And I had no idea because I didn't have a full body mirror to give myself a twirl before I left. You know, because life is, you know, POV. Life's a first-person shooter. You don't know. You don't know unless you look around, unless you look in that mirror, what you really look like. Sometimes we think it looks dope. Sometimes we think it looks fly. And a full-body mirror would warn you. You know? I'm not knocking all fedoras. I'm simply saying that some people don't have fedora head shape, and it's not until they see themselves in a fedora that they go, oh, this is for somebody else. Because don't get me wrong, the people who fedoras are for make fedoras look very cool. The people who fedoras are not for make the people who fedoras are for take their fedoras off. You need a mirror. You have to have a mirror. Please don't guess. On the subject of soap, like this is the other thing. Every soap has a purpose. It's been figured out already. It's been market tested. Our grandparents divided the soaps. Our ancestors had soaps for certain processes. I know times are tough. I've been broke. But there are some things. My buddy, I was at his place and I just went to the bathroom once again. We over there for hours playing video games and everything. I go to his bathroom and all I see, I wasn't even being nosy. I wasn't looking into his things because I could see it. I could see it right in front of me because he didn't have a shower curtain. So I could see everything that was going on. I didn't peek behind the curtain to be like, ooh, what does he use? No, it was right in front of me because he just lets the whole bathroom get wet. please buy a shower curtain. Please buy a shower curtain. This is why you got men running around with PS5s, because they think they have this extra income that should be going to... Don't get me wrong, the PS5 is important. It is important, but it is not more important than a mirror and a shower curtain, which are much cheaper than a PS5. You could have bought the PS5 and one less game, and you would have a shower curtain and a mirror. No shower curtain. So if you turn a shower on, you're just about to fight for your life on that tile. But then I see in the shower, no body wash. I see Dawn dish detergent. I'm not a confrontational person, but if you're my friend, I gotta say something. I came out the bathroom with the dish detergent. I was like, no, it can't stay in here. It can't. I walked up to him. I was like, you're not a bowl. Are you a man or are you a cup? What's wrong with you right now? You've been using this on your whole body. This fool over here, it worked for the ducks. I know not. I know. You did not just tell me that you watched a Dawn commercial of them washing a duckling that was a victim of a disaster and thought to yourself, that'll work for me too. I get greasy too. Washing his body. Do you every crease of every crack in your skin is ashy right now. You have stripped every oil, probably some years from your skin. I think you might live a long life, but your skin won't. You gonna run out of skin one day. Be sitting there 89 years old, everybody like, why can I see through you, Dawn? Dish soap. It's tough. Because they don't see anything wrong. They don't see what's with one bar for the whole house. With dish soap in the shower. One friend, he's a friend. He's a good person. He's a good man. He's one of those good people that does the good things that we think we'd do if we had the time. He makes the time. This man volunteers. This man looks out for people. He's a good man. Truly. But when I found out he was taking baths with laundry detergent, there are some decisions people make that make you wonder what other decisions they make. Like when I found out he was using laundry detergent because he liked how it bubbled up, I let it come out. I didn't mean for it to, but it just escaped. I was like, I don't want you voting. I don't want you voting at all. That's crazy. That's one of the craziest things I ever heard what you just said to me. It doesn't feel crazy while you're doing it. Because look, I'm also not better than anybody. I'm not over here pretending I just know so much. Once again, I think it's like some of it's upbringing. I was raised by my mom, my aunt, my grandma, my granddad, and everything. My dad as well, but there were just certain things. It's hard to admit. As a man, it is hard to admit, but it's important. It's important that you take everything that you hold on to about what you think life is, and every once in a while, you just question it. I'm not even saying you gotta throw out all your beliefs. I'm not saying you're wrong or dumb or anything. I'm saying that every once in a while, you take a second, really think about the things you believe, and really ask yourself why you believe those things. Are these just the things that your parents believed? Is this just what you watch other people do? Do you do it to fit in? Is this really how you feel when you're all by yourself? Really question every belief that you have, because when you question those beliefs and you actually have answers for them, it reinstills your faith in the things that you believe. One of the reasons some people are so scared to have a conversation about anything is because they don't really know why they think what they think. And if they get asked a single question that questions anything about what they think, it freaks them out. It rewires their entire worldview. And so I'm just saying, maybe something happened when you were young and it was acceptable, but then you get older and people tell you that it's not, and you hold on to it. And you hold on to it because it's familiar, or you hold on to it because you're like, oh, if I'm wrong about this, what else am I wrong about? You don't have to spiral like that. One idea doesn't mean all ideas. Everything can be handled in its own compartment. Maybe there are parts of your upbringing that are incredible, have instilled in you what it takes to make a remarkable person, a kind person. And then maybe there are things about how you grew up that you maybe want to leave in the past, that you don't want to pass on to the next generation, When I tell you all this, it's to say that, like, as men, I'm begging, as men, you have to buy more than one towel. It has. I know you live alone. I know, but the towel is never as clean as you think it is, and it can't be a towel for everything, because then some parts are not good for other parts. Because I'm telling you, sometimes decisions you make in one area, you can tell you're making those same decisions in the other area, Because the same friend who thought he could clean his entire apartment and himself with one bar of soap also thought one towel will do too. And I was like, you are ground zero for the next COVID. I promise you. I don't even know, you reinfecting yourself daily. I don't know how you ever get over a cold. It can't dry you and the dishes. It can't dry you and the dishes. It cannot wash you and the dishes. You just have to, I'm just saying one more time. If we can get you to 2 towels, we have doubled the amount of towels in this home. And that's progress. Please. There are good men out there. When I tell you there are good men, living good lives, by the way. But then when you see their apartment, I get why she thinks you're gonna kill her. Because there's one towel. It's one towel. What if she stays? And now there is one towel. And your precious towel, your one towel, the towel that's supposed to keep this entire place dry and clean, is on the floor. What have you done? What have you done? Some of these things can be fixed. Do you know what I mean? Like, some of these things can be fixed. Sometimes, it sucks. I know it sucks. I know it hurts. I know it's bad. I get it. It is bad. to feel a sort of rejection, whether you're used to it or not. Every new rejection is its own thing. And sometimes you put a lot of hope or you put a lot of energy or intention into what might happen. And so to be disappointed, it's rough. And to face a rejection can make you question yourself, you know? But I guarantee you that every rejection is just leading you to where you're supposed to be. And sometimes it's just not the right time for certain things. A rejection is not the end of the world. And it also sometimes all it's really doing is opening you up to the fact that the path that you had laid out for yourself isn't really for you. You know? It's a scary thing to get what you want and realize you don't really want it. And so sometimes a rejection is a gift. It doesn't mean that it hurts any less. Because sometimes you like someone, you like them a lot, and you like them from a genuine place. All the stuff, forget all this like internet gender war, men versus women, but you like this person and you feel like they like you, and you go out and you have a good time. You have such a good time that they come back to your place. Y'all hang out some more, and then they ghost you. That rejection, that hurts. It really does. And I have empathy for anybody who has gone through that. I understand what it's like to go through it. And maybe you text, or maybe you called, and maybe she didn't respond. Maybe she didn't pick up. And maybe it's because she looked. She looked for a single source of soap that was not the dial bar in the kitchen. Because if you are not washing yourself properly, I'm begging you, just leave it. And look, I'm not saying it's a thing you should have in the back of your head. Oh, she's gonna check my cabinets to make sure I take care of myself. I'm just saying that, like, if you don't use soap, it's not a lot of detective work that goes into. And if you use soap weird, if you doing some soap stuff that's not meant to be done, you also gonna get caught, all right? Because if you washing yourself with dish soap like it's body wash, and you scream every time you put a shirt on, that's also gonna be noticeable. You know? Because there are certain things that I see that I could honestly say, at least to me, when I see them, I'm like, yeah, I think only a man would do this, I think. You know what I mean? Like obviously that used to have a sentiment of like something like deeply like misogynistic or bigoted or something, like only a man does this thing. But I feel like when people say it now, some people say it the old way, don't get me wrong, but it has a slightly different like connotation now. Just there's some things I see and I'm like, yeah, At least not that I've met. I personally have not met a woman who would be like, one bar is good. Yeah, you see stuff like that sometimes. I'll even say that kind of popped in my head during that whole Netflix Skyscraper Live. Okay, if you don't know what this is, there's a dude named Alex Honnold who's like a climber. He's a specialty climber. He does free solo, does all that stuff like that, all this free climbing, and he climbed Taipei 101, tall skyscraper, right? And the entire time he was going to do it, he was leading up to this live event that was going to be on Netflix. And I think everybody tuned in to see if he would die. I think, like, that sounds grim to say, but Netflix trying real hard to be the first stream death. Like, they want it bad. You can tell they want it bad. They're like, yeah, let dude go ahead, climb up the skyscraper with no rope and let's just see what happens. It's like, that's, from the people that brought you Squid Game, yeah, y'all want to see something horrific. That's true. That's just a fact. And then he takes off. This is what the only thing I didn't like about it is that he is doing this incredible thing, but they clearly didn't program the thing that well because they were sure he was going to die. I'm just being honest with you. They didn't program this thing that well because they just let this expert climber start climbing, and then he climbed like an expert, so then he made it look easy, so then people weren't as impressed as they should have been. Truly, I don't think people realize what he did. They should have had me climb first. They should have had me. And I don't even have to get to the top. I just got to clear like a floor. Okay. All right. Okay. No, I didn't like the way my foot went. Okay, all right. And then just let a regular person who doesn't climb try to ascend. Because then you'll see how difficult the thing is, because this dude is over here making it look easy. He's making it look like cake. You know, just over here. And he's so nimble. And he's got so much strength. He has so much strength. They had that dude do a muscle up in a cutaway. So what they did do, they had a little bit of footage that they pre-taped that they played during some of the live climbs. So they would cut to that once in a while. I personally think they should have had more, but who knows? I guess they thought he'd fall the first 10 minutes or something like that. But anyway, they did this cutaway, and they looked at his training. And for his training, he did a muscle up. If you don't know what a muscle up is, you clearly never been to a park with people who have been to jail. Because, oh, they know how to do a muscle up. Muscle up is something you either get real good at because you practice calisthenics and have a really clean diet and are dedicated to your health and nutrition, or you've just been to prison. Because a muscle up is where you do a pull-up so hard that you pull yourself over the bar and then you're above the bar. It's very hard to not look like a superhero when you do it. And he did a muscle up like it was nothing. He didn't even break a sweat. He was still talking the entire time. He was like, yeah, so I start the day with some of these. And I was like, oh! What type of felony movements are you doing? And so, yeah, have me up there, you know, trying to figure out, because everything looked flat. How do you climb flat? Yeah, even Spider-Man looked like he's struggling sometimes. How do you climb flat? Now, this dude's climbing a corner all the way up. 100. I think if it were me, I'd be like, okay, all right, let me get. Yeah. Y'all want to pray one more time before we... Because the way this dude did it, he literally just put his foot up and then jumped up and then was gone. It was wildly impressive. But you wouldn't know it because they didn't have a regular person give them. All right, yeah, y'all give me a second. Yeah. Oh. Okay. They got 100 of these. Okay. I'm gonna get, if I can just get my foot. Yeah, he got it. No, he got it. I'm good. Because then the way he did it was so fast. And everybody was over here like, he could fall. He could do that. They said it way too many times for my liking. They were like, now he's really high up. And they kept doing this thing instead of like showing us, once again, through someone else, how insane this thing is. They just kept saying how insane it was. They were like, this is crazy. I can't stress this enough. My heart is racing. This is crazy. It's so crazy. After like 5 times, you don't believe someone. Even though what they're saying is true, it is crazy. But once again, just have someone like me. Let me start at the 50th story. Because they would get him, he had like these 8 points that he got to where he could like kind of take a break because he had to get through something really hard. And then once he stood up, it was like flat until he climbed up to the next height. Once again, you need someone who doesn't climb to step in again at that stage. Let them start like 30 stories up. No, just let them start like a general 30 stories up. Because it was windy. No, I think I'm good. I think I'm gonna let him do it, actually. Yeah, because this dude, he also didn't play up how hard it was for him, so then he was acting like it was so easy that it just seemed super easy. So after a while you're watching, you're like, all right, y'all gonna make him do it upside down or something? Like, it was way too easy. He would come over the system because they had a feed. They had him mic'd and they had a feed. And he'd be in the middle of a climb. He'd actually be going backwards. He'd have his hand out, letting his legs hang because he needed to swing the leg up for the next move. And the whole time, instead of being like, whoa! This man was over here making me bad. This man was over here, hey, can y'all put my music back on? Can you put my music? It just doesn't really feel like somebody defied death that hard where they're like, hey, can you put the music back on? I'm a little bored. You know? And they had some really cool shots in it too. They had his wife down there on the ground with him. Then she was up at the midpoint and he waved to her in the window and everything. And she was like, hey. Because she had never been there before with him while he was doing one of these things, because why would you? No, truly, why would you? Why would you? Let him do it. That's his thing. Let him do it. Let him come back home. Why traumatize yourself watching him? You know? Because then he was over here, in one of the documentary portions talking about how, he has kids now and everything, and people always ask him if it's different doing this stuff before he had kids and doing it after. And he was like, well, before I had kids, I never wanted to fall. And now that I have kids, I really don't want to fall. And then that thing, to the best of my knowledge, I think it hit like number 3, number 6 on Netflix. What do you have to do to be number 1? Like, that's crazy. This man climbed a skyscraper live. Didn't hit number 1. That's why I don't know if I like that top 10 system. Because sometimes, like, murder documentaries will be all there. And if I get murdered and somebody make a documentary about it and I hit like 8, y'all better try again. No. Nah. Speaking of things that won't hit number 1. Melania had a documentary come out. Man, Melania had a documentary come out. Melania had this documentary come out, and let's just say, if it were an album, it would have hit aluminum by now. Man, this thing is crazy. Apparently, this is like one of the most expensive licensing agreements of all time or something like that. Or maybe they bought it. I don't know what they did. Whatever it was like millions and millions of dollars. It's like $40 million for the documentary and then like $35 million to market it. You don't have to boo, you're already not there. The movie Melania is out. It's a documentary about Melania. And you would think, oh, a documentary about Melania. That's got to be fascinating, right? She must know so much. She's been standing in the room for all of it. Come on, a movie about Melania. Yeah, I'm curious about Melania's life. How did she... How? All of it. How all of it? How? I remember, even before he was president, I remember seeing sometimes, like Trump with a beautiful woman, and I'd be like, how? The answer's money, but there's a part of you that's like, all right, plenty of people have money. But Melania specifically, I was like, how? How? It's crazy. And yeah, it went worldwide. Because I guess you can release anything to everybody. No, it went worldwide. The whole thing is really crazy because the documentary I thought was going to be about her life, which I was like, all right, some people might want to see that to know how. Because we don't really hear from Melania a lot. And when we do, it's not great. Do you know what I mean? Like when we hear from her, we're like, oh, I'm starting to understand how. Because we do this thing that, there's so many problems in the world. It's not like I'm harping on this one as the biggest. But we do a thing where we don't really give women enough agency in their choices, and sometimes we infantilize them, and whenever they're dating or married to a jerk, we always assume they must have been tricked or duped or whatever. And it's like, and this is going to be a hard thing to hear. I understand. But maybe if someone that you know is dating someone that sucks, it might be because they suck too. Like, we did a whole thing. We did a whole thing in the first term where it was like, oh my gosh, save Melania. Oh my God, like the poor baby. She has to be first lady, and he's like right there. Meanwhile, look, Melania can not only take care of herself, but she's there because she wants to be. She may not want to do everything. Don't get me wrong. She may not want to do all the responsibilities, but that position in life, being his wife, she's there because she meant to be. She didn't wake up and go, oops. You know what I mean? She's right next to him, and she knows. You can tell she knows. Because whenever he put out his hand, she like... Millions of dollars. Millions and millions and millions of dollars. It's crazy. Directed by Brett Ratner. Directed by Brett Ratner. No, Brett Ratner. You remember him. Yeah, Brett Ratner making a comeback with this documentary. Brett Ratner directed Rush Hour. Yeah. He directed Rush Hour, and he is a monster? Like, it's crazy. It's great. I would have loved more questions from Melania about linking up with Brett Ratner to direct the documentary. I'm sure I would have asked her, and she would have been like, oh. They say Brett Ratner is Predator, but he didn't even direct that movie. So few people are watching it that when I even just tried to look up the reviews, you can't even trust the reviews because the reviews are like half people who didn't watch it making fun of people not watching it, and then the other half are people who seemingly have been paid through a Craigslist ad to leave a review that is positive about the movie, but they haven't watched it. So they are alluding to things in the movie that I'm sure don't happen because I don't even think they know who Melania is. See what I mean? Like, there was a review I saw, 5 stars, and it was like, I love the fantasy of how it plays out. I especially love Angelina Jolie. And I was like, that is Maleficent. That is crazy that you didn't have the reading comprehension. And then I saw a bad review, and I know they didn't go. I know they didn't go even give the movie a try, because the review was 1 star, and it said, wish I could give it no stars. I died in the theater. We know that didn't happen. How you typing? We know that's not true. Admittedly, I haven't seen it. This movie is a bombing though. This movie. No, this movie bombing bad. This is crazy. I've never seen anything like it. There was one night, it looked like they sold like 2 tickets in London. And not to the same showing. It was one ticket for 2 different showings. And this is what you gotta understand about if you're not selling at least a couple in the back of a whole theater for a whole screening, and everybody knows the movie's bad, and you're still not even selling. There were plenty of places all over Europe and in the US that were having no sales for the movie at all, for any showing, right? And that means that even the people who go to the movie theater to do heroin picked another movie. That is crazy. You knew you were about to get privacy. It was about to be dark. Nobody was gonna be talking, and you were still like, no. That's gonna mess up my high. No. You know the movie bad, too. You know the movie bad because apparently 2/3 of the crew didn't want credit for working on the movie. I don't know if you are familiar with Hollywood, but there's not a wide range of jobs right now. There are some people that are like, I'd rather them think I have a 10-year gap in my resume. They give you credit just for work, like you just did it, so then they give you credit. You did your job, and then they're like, that was done by this person, so we're gonna put this person in the credits. It takes effort. It takes effort to hit up the editor and be like, hey, can you hit backspace on my name? Bruh, just do me this solid and just lay that knuckle on the space bar and hit backspace a couple times. If you can't delete it, can you change it? Two-thirds, this is most people. Two-thirds. Who want credit? Craft service? Who is? In my head, I'm like, wow, isn't that bad? That then it gets done, and then they're like, oh, I don't want anybody to know that I was holding the boom for this. Imagine you over here. It was crazy. Yeah, because who would have thought? No, who would have, especially, must really not understand your target audience. Trying to tell the story of a woman who's an immigrant. They're speculating on what the movie is gonna gross. I think it's gonna gross gross. I don't know where do you even go from here? It's like I thought this was gonna be like her life. Apparently the movie is like the first 3 weeks of January. leading up to the inauguration. It's like when I heard that, I was like, oh, what? I thought there'd at least be some mystery in it. You know what I mean? I thought there'd be some questions answered, like, Joe. Because that is a doc I would watch. Like, if you actually had a timeline of Melania as a documentary, and you did the whole, I would be like, yeah, no, I need to know. That's the closest thing we're gonna get to some sort of structured through line on the Epstein files. You know what I mean? Like that. Even if it's crowded, it'll be long, you know. No, it just blows my mind. I don't know. We're in a fragmented place now where it feels like maybe a sort of like monocultural moment as far as films go is beyond us. Who knows? Because we haven't really had a breakout event that got lots of people excited in a way that almost meant a sort of frenzy since like Barbie and Oppenheimer came out. That was like the last time that people were like, we're gonna go to the movie all day, we're gonna double up, I'm gonna wear pink and watch a movie about bombs. Or go see Barbie in a top hat, or whatever. Yeah, and it's crazy to think, because when you see things like the Netflix top 10, and you see what these, at least is what Netflix says, are the most popular things in the US, most popular things in the world, and you see where these numbers lay out as far as titles, it tells you a lot about what we collectively would like to see, because it's what we seem to be picking across cultures. And there's still things that are like baffling to me about it. Like how did he not hit number one? Like, just, he climbed a skyscraper. What else do you have to do?
When I